watching this video, you're privileged because you and I, we're going to have a discussion about the state of the current economy and where are we really headed. You've heard things online, on the news. I'm always telling you guys, do your own homework. I don't consider myself a follower. So usually when I see tons of people going in the same direction, and I know most people are average thinkers, I don't follow the crowd, and I don't encourage you to. I don't encourage you to do it either. So we know just based on some things we're seeing around us, we're seeing, and here's a good analogy. And I've used this a lot, but for those who are new to the channel, I'll use it for you. This is probably the first time you've heard it, so I'll use it for you. For everybody who's heard it before, you already know what I'm about to say. By the way, for everyone who's new, I could really use your help to grow this channel. So it's important that you guys hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, and also comment under the videos. And I'll give you a shout out if you're a new subscriber. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. This channel is no fluff. This channel is not a channel where you're just going to come and somebody's just going to say anything to you and expect you to believe it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you my truth. Whether it's your truth or not, I don't know. I just encourage you to do your own homework, do your own research, because we're at a point in time today where nobody knows. I don't even know. So the things that I talk about, a lot of it I've gone through, and then a lot of it is speculation on what I believe is coming in the future, including this video. So if you're ready to get into it, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. If you know that AI is going to be a problem for a lot of people, smash the thumbs up. If you understand that, hey, it's going to be good, it's also going to cause some problems. So you've heard me say on this channel plenty of times, I've said we have the innate ability as human beings to walk outside, not know the forecast, look up at the sky, and determine what the day is going to look like. So you look up at the sky today, it's a clear day, so it's probably not going to rain. But if I come outside, or you guys come outside, you look up at the sky and there's a bunch of gray clouds, chances are it just might rain. So we can interpret the weather. We can look at the sky and determine, how the weather's going to be. We can look at, the plants or the trees and see if they're healthy or not. Smash thumbs up. And we can determine if the crop's going to be good this year. That's probably for farmers more so than others, but there are usually indicators of how things are going to turn out. Clouds in the sky, gray clouds, sunshine, those are indicators. By the way, hit thumbs up if you're new to the channel, smash subscribe. If you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. There are also, so and I can give you a bunch of examples, but we'll just skip that and move into the heart of this. So we know and understand that AI is here. We also know and understand that this is just the beginning. If you understand this is just the beginning of AI, smash thumbs up. AI is here. It's just the beginning. And I always say, look, we're probably about 5-10% into what AI is going to be. We're not even close to what we're going to see in the next 5-10 years. So that can be a scary thought, or that can be a really good thought. So what's AI going to do? Now, I believe that AI, because we're starting to see, because these are the gray clouds I was just talking about, referring to. The gray clouds are, AI coming in and replacing customer service jobs. AI coming in and replacing anything that's done over a computer. AI coming in and replacing one day in the future doctors. AI coming in replacing salespeople. AI coming in and replacing account managers. AI coming in replacing tax preparers, accountants, maybe even lawyers, maybe even judges. AI coming in and replacing essentially anything that a computer can do or a program can do. So now that we understand that, that's the gray skies. That's why I labeled this video that there's going to be an AI recession. Now, that could be good news or that could be bad news. In 2016, the last time I was homeless, 2017, there was a flood, a tremendous flood in Louisiana. You can go look it up on YouTube. 10, 15 feet of water in some neighborhoods. My neighborhood was wiped out. Now, I lost everything. It was a terrible time for me. I was homeless. But if you owned a home repair or roofing or something like that, flood damage control or flooring or ceilings, it was the best of times. That in fact, that disaster was one of the best things ever happened to you. So I always say it's like being on the Titanic. If you're going down with the ship, like I was, and like a lot of you are going to be today when AI starts moving even faster, it's going to be a hard time for you. But if you guys are selling lifeboats, it's going to be a good time for you. Smash thumbs up if you understand what I'm talking about. Smash thumbs up or let me know in the comments if you believe AI is going to cause a recession. It's going to cause a reset for sure. And those people who manage stocks, they won't need you. AI can do that. Like this world's going to change so much. It's almost to the point now, even with what little we have of AI and what little we've been introduced to, as a person, you don't even have to think anymore. You don't even have to think anymore. AI can do your taxes. AI can write your doctor's excuse. AI can write a letter to somebody you're trying to date. AI can write a resume that'll get you a six-figure job and then make the person reading the resume feel like it's their responsibility to hire you, like it's their idea. So, hey man, I appreciate it, Antonio. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate the thumbs up. But the AI recession, and again, it's not going to be a long video, but the AI recession, I believe, is real. Now, am I right? Will it for sure happen? No, I'm just speculating, and I don't have a problem saying that. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just looking at the sky in a sense that, again, I'm just looking at the clouds in the sky, and it looks like rain clouds. So there's a good chance you need to have your umbrella. And that's all I'm saying to you guys is the AI storm is coming. There's a bunch of gray clouds in the sky. I'm just telling you, you might want to have your umbrella. Now, what's an AI umbrella going to look like? Well, let's look at what it's not going to look like first. What is AI? What's the rain going to look like for AI? It's going to look like jobs being reduced, eliminated. If you have a job now, it involves phones or computers, you won't have it long. If you have a job now and it involves editing and writing, you're not going to have that long. So the safe jobs now, and this is crazy because we've done a full 360 and gone back to what was unpopular just a few years ago, and that's the skilled labor jobs. That's why when I teach students how to build middleman businesses, I'm always talking about OPS, other people's skills. Not their money, their skills. Use their skills. They're already good at something. I'll just use their skills. Sorry, guys, my daughter's texting me. So use their skills, leverage other people's skills so that you can partner with them, let them do all of the work, and you still get paid. So, but you're seeing the gray skies, gray clouds, gray skies, if you're not in position. But here's the thing, the AI storm is coming, but for 90% of the people, it's going to be a storm, a bad storm, rain. It's going to be a rainy day. But for 10% of the people, it's going to be a sunshiny day. Now, the question's got to be asked, how could it be rainy for some and sunshine, beautiful day for others? Well, that comes from preparation, right? That comes from seeing opportunity. That comes from seeing what's coming, being prepared, getting in position. So it comes from positioning. It comes from seeing opportunity and identifying it. It comes from preparation. When my house flooded and we had 10 feet of water in the house and I lost everything, I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared. But for those who made ridiculous amounts of money by repairing homes that were flooded and damaged, they were prepared. They were in the right vehicles. They already had what they needed to benefit from this storm. So same thing with you. The AI storm is coming. What are you doing to protect yourself? What are you doing to hedge yourself? What are you doing to be prepared? What are you doing? Do you guys hear me? Is this on? Hello? What are you doing to hedge yourself from the AI takeover, from the AI recession, from the AI storm? This is a warning to you. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to wake you up. Smash thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. I'm here to just wake you up, get your attention, and say, hey, you might want to be looking at the skies. There's some things that's probably coming this way. I don't know exactly what it is, but there are some things that's on the way. And so we need to be what? Prepared. We need to be prepared. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm not somebody on the internet who's just going to make stuff up. I want you, because I can't prepare you as much as you can. You can prepare you. All the work I do, it ain't going to save you. It's going to save me. So you need to start doing a little homework. You need to get yourself prepared. You need to be able to answer your own questions. Hey, honey, sit down. Have a conversation with your spouse, your significant other, your kids, your family. Sit down and say, hey, AI is coming. In fact, AI is here, but everything's going to speed up. It's going to get 10 times more impactful in the next 18 months. That's how fast this is moving. You thought I was going to say 10 years, huh? No, 18 months. Just think of what's happened in the past year. Millions upon millions of people are going to lose their jobs in the past years, in the next year. And it's going to be sad because I've seen people homeless. I'm from South Louisiana. I've been through Katrina. I always say, look, because people are like, if you take people's money, you're gonna create a storm. No. I've seen people with no money. You want to see people become zombies and lose their minds and forget all morality? Take away their food. I've seen it. You take away the food, you got a problem. People are going to lose their minds. I remember preparing for hurricanes because I've been through tons of them. Now that I live in Dallas, I haven't been through a hurricane in 5 years, and I never want to go through another one. And so I've been to stores. When you see the storms coming, you usually kind of get, and this is a good, analogy for AI, but you kind of see the storm brewing. It'll get to the Atlantic and then it'll get into the Gulf. And when it gets into the Gulf, everybody's like, hey, watch that storm, keep an eye on that thing. And so they start coming out with these projected paths for storms, usually give you about 3 days to get prepared. It also starts telling you, hey, the Gulf is warm, the water is hot, so these storms are going to get powerful. And they do. Next thing you know, they're Category 5 hurricanes, 180-mile-an-hour winds. Brutal, right? And so what happens is everyone starts preparing. That's what you guys need to do. When there's a hurricane, we get prepared. So we identified that there's a storm. That's the first thing we do. And I'm just doing this impromptu. I don't have any of this written down. I didn't study any of this. It's just off the top of my head. So first thing we do when a hurricane's coming is we identify that there's a storm, there's a threat. You guys need to identify that there's a storm, there's a threat today, and that's AI. It's an AI Category 5. Our Category 5 was Katrina. Andrew, I've been through a lot of storms, but the one most people in America know about is Katrina 20 years ago. So in Katrina, we identified that there was a problem. Our problem was called Katrina. Your problem, your identity, your name for this storm is AI. It's an AI Category 5. And so now that you've identified there's a storm there, the next stage is you need to get prepared. So what did we do? Everyone would go to Walmart. Everyone would go to Target. Every little store we could find, everything was selling. Stores could not keep product on the shelf. What was gone? Canned goods, gone. Water, gone. Batteries, gone. Anything that can hold gas, gone. Because you weren't going to get gas for a while. Baby food, gone. Dog food, gone. You know what was left in the store? Meat, milk, eggs, anything that was in a cooler and had to be refrigerated, nobody touched. You know why? Because no one was going to have power for the next 2 weeks to a month unless you had a generator. And I'm bringing back all these crazy memories. And if you ever been through a storm, you know this is how it works. And so now that we've identified the storm, that's going to be AI. Now we've started getting prepared by going get things we're going to need. All the canned goods are gone. MREs, I remember those. Those things are disgusting, but I remember the military being in town passing them out, FEMA and whatnot. So now that you've identified the problem, you've gotten prepared for what's coming. Now you know AI is coming, the storm is coming. You got to get prepared. Well, what's that going to look like? Well, it probably starts with the question you need to ask yourself is, what am I going to do when I lose my job? Not if I lose my job, when I lose my job. So what am I going to do when I wake up in the morning and they no longer need me? They fired me while I was asleep, right? You wish you got fired on your day off. You got fired in your sleep. You woke up to bad news. So now you've gotten let go, or you're probably going to be let go very soon, because again, if you ask yourself the question, can AI replace me? And the answer is yes, or I don't know, you're in trouble. I'll say it like this. If your job does not require physical labor, like intensive or skilled labor, then yes, you could probably be let go. So you're going to go out there and find out you're in trouble. So AI is going to take your job away. Somebody said recession-proof businesses only. Absolutely, 100%. And in my opinion, the best recession-proof business today is to partner with skilled laborers. Because I just told you, AI is not going to replace a plumber. AI is not going to replace a roofer. AI is not going to replace a landscaper. Now, if you have a gig job, you drive around. I'm going to do a video about that soon. And you drive around, your job's not going to be there. Gig jobs are done. You guys are on the clock. It's just a matter of time before the bell. It's like a boxing match, and you're in there fighting against your gig job is in there fighting against AI. It's just not going to work. In just a matter of minutes, that bell's going to ring, and this fight's going to be over. AI autonomous vehicles will replace you. I don't know if you think about that or not, but let me just help you. They are doing it in some places right now. They're just testing it. That's why it's a small rollout. Even here in Dallas, Waymo, if I'm not mistaken, and I need to do a video about this ASAP, is rolling out AI autonomous vehicles right now. So what does that mean? For every vehicle they roll out, that's one less driver they need. But why would they replace you? Because you cost too much. That's why. Recessions will dry up demand for skilled laborers to job. Kai, are you saying that? Are you asking me that? You're saying recessions will dry up demand for skilled trades or laborers? If you're making a statement, we'll disagree. If you're asking me that, I'll give you my answer. So if skilled laborers are going to be the safest jobs, and here's why. Because let's say you, Kai, have a job, and I don't know if I read it right. I probably misread it. You and I are probably saying the same thing, but just let me know in the chats. Hit thumbs up, guys. I got a lot of people watching, not enough thumbs up. Help me grow this channel. I believe this is one of the few channels on YouTube where it's kept real. There's no fluff. There's no lying. There's no just gassing you up about anything, telling you stuff that's not true, telling you things just so I can get you to share my channel or to get 1 million subscribers. I got like 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I appreciate everyone. Now, I could easily come on here and lie and fluff and say anything, but who's that going to help? That's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help you. I'm not in the business of doing that. I have a family. I have kids. I'm going to be a person of integrity. My character means a lot to me. I'm going to protect it. I'm not going to be known for just saying anything. I'm not going to do that. There's plenty of other channels that are entertaining you. I'm not looking to do that. That's why this channel doesn't have a million views. I know the content is worth a million views, but I give the content that's real and from the heart. And it's going to weed out those who want to be entertained and those who want to learn and who are like, hey, you know what, bro, you are right. This is a wake up call. I need to be on top of this. That's who this channel's for. So, Kai, let's say, for instance, you were a plumber. Then your job is safer than somebody who's doing customer service, phone customer service. In fact, if you guys have recognized over the past year, it's very hard to call one of these big companies and get somebody on the phone. Very hard. Because the first buffer is going to be some type of chat or automation. So some type of chat or automation is going to be the first thing. Let me know, guys, if you've called. Just put yes in the comments if you realize lately that it's been very hard to get someone from a big company on the phone for customer service. That it's usually some type of chat, usually some type of email or some type of filtering or AI bot, but it's very hard to just talk to a person, an individual. I've realized, I shared it with my wife. I was like, my God, it's hard to get somebody on the phone. I figured out how. I just skip all that and say, if I'm talking, I just say, it'll say automate it. Press one if you like. Now I'm like representative. And if I'm talking to a chat bot, I just type in representative. Let's go. So a plumber would be safer, and you could do plumber, you could do mover, you could do home cleaner, roofer, landscape, pool maintenance, dog walker, detailed vehicles, window tinting, TV mounting, all these things. I could go on and on and on. That's and I have students who do roofing, I have students who do website design, so all of those things I have students for. But it's not going to dry up demand for those things because you're still going to need, if your pipe bursts, you're going to have a problem. AI can't fix that pipe. You're going to need a plumber. If there's a leaky roof, AI can't repair it. You're going to need a plumber. I'm sorry, a roofer, not a, you do not want to hire a plumber for your roof. I promise you. If your garage breaks, I'm in my garage now. No, I'm not Ty Lopez. I don't have Lambos on top of Lambos. I'm not interested in that. My wife has a beautiful vehicle. I have a beautiful vehicle. Everything else is about building wealth for the family. So we got a big, beautiful house. That's fine. I grew up poor in the ghetto, never had anything. I'm happy. So, but this garage had an issue about a month ago. It came off track. And so someone came here and repaired the garage. It was a $400. I was like, $400. Took the guy literally 15 minutes. Well, AI is not going to be able to come out and replace that. I wish it could. I would have saved a lot of money, but AI is not going to be able to do that. So that's why I believe that labor jobs are the safest until we get to where robots can do it, but safe. Now, that's why I like in the middleman business, just a quick plug for the middleman. That's why I think if you start a middleman business and partner with these skilled laborers, other people's skills, OPS, then if I start a middleman roofing company, then I'm going to be good because if the roof has an issue, AI can't fix it. You're going to have to go online and hire a roofer. I want you to go to my website, pay me a deposit, $500 or so, book the roofer, and off you go. They do the work, not me. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So I see a few comments. I don't have long, so get your comments in. We are live, so you get to talk to your boy live before we get into some good stuff. By the way, if you were ever wondering what a middleman business is, you're welcome to go to my website, bookandmove, bookandmove.com, and you'll see exactly what a middleman business looks like. I'm not on there. You can't talk to me. We don't do any of the work. I don't move anybody. They just book there, pay me. I get an alert, says I got paid, and I'm done. So you're welcome to start your own middleman business. The class is going to go up because we're filling up. But if you want the link to get the free training, then put the word middleman in the comments under any of my videos, or just click the link in the description, or go to middlemanceo.com. And if you want to get on a payment plan, just email me at middlemanceo@gmail.com. All right, let's get through some of these comments and then I'll get off here. Somebody said recession-proof businesses only, 100%. Because remember, you were alerted, you identified that there's a storm coming. That's AI. You got prepared. You went out and got prepared, or you started a middleman business. You started a side hustle. You started thinking about, hey, this check's not going to be here. How do I get paid? That's your preparedness, right? So you go out and get prepared, and then the next thing you do is you execute. You identified the AI storm is coming, Category 5 hurricane. Then you went out and got prepared. You said, hey, you asked yourself the hard questions, had the hard conversation with those you love. Said, hey, look, let's be straight up. This job's probably not going to be here long. We need to get prepared, start finding another way to make money. Identified another way to make money, whether it's working with me, starting a middleman business, whether you get a vending machine. I don't know much about that. Whether you invest in stocks. I don't know much about that, but something. I'm just telling you, do something. Bake cookies out of your kitchen, just hustle. Work that hustle muscle, okay? And now you start executing. You got the idea. Now you execute on the idea, right? Whether it's launching your middleman business, whether it's launching your cookie baking, dog walking, does not matter. Now you launch your business. That's how you beat the AI recession. You get ahead of it. Don't get caught with no umbrella, okay? All right, so let's see. All right, reading through the comments. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hit thumbs up, guys. Help me grow this channel. Help me get this video out. I think it's important for a lot of people to see. We need a lot less fluff content online. I'm burned out by it. I know you guys are too. Half the stuff I used to watch on YouTube, I don't even watch no more. I'm just like, man, I got 3 people I listen to. I don't need anything else. Everybody else just wasting my time. I don't want to be entertained. I need a game plan. So let's see. Ryan said, do you have your backup plan in place? Absolutely. And that's a good question. I'm glad you stated it that way, Ryan, because if you move quickly, it's not a backup plan, right? So it's preparation, right? It's execution. So you don't need a backup plan in this situation because you already know what's going to happen. You already know AI is coming. AI, in fact, is here. You already know that if you have a job that is, it's not AI proof, you're probably going to lose it at some point. So I'm not looking for a backup plan because if I have something that could be replaced by AI, they're going to eliminate me. I'm going to be eliminated. I'm not going to be laid off and brought back. I'm not going to be switched to another position. They're letting me go completely. So the backup plan is the plan that you need to be executing right now. So when I think of backup, I think of, just in case this happens. Well, you're at a time and place where you don't have to worry about it happening. It's going to happen. So if you have a job that can be replaced by AI, you can Google that. Can AI replace my job? Yes. Then your backup plan needs to be your primary plan today, right? So Ryan, get on it now. Be ahead of it. Don't wait until they tell you that the plane is going down. Don't wait. Don't wait until they tell you that the Titanic is sinking. You see the iceberg. Don't wait. No backup plan. It'll make you content. It'll make you have false hope, believing that, hey, I'm secure just in case something happened. Get that out of your mind. Move like it has already happened. And you'll be ready. Move like it's already happened. And you'll be prepared. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. All right, Kai said, I've got 5 minutes until back to work. I don't think you're wrong about automation, but I think gains made will be privatized as squeeze the jobs that couldn't be automated. Kai, again, we're gonna because again, let's see, he said if you can't pay the plumber, it doesn't matter. Okay. How can the plumber afford to let you in on their profits in an automated recession? I'm assuming you're probably thinking about talking about being a middleman now that I've read all the way through this. For one reason, you can drive people around all day long in your car. You can pick people up, you can drop people off and charge them. But you can do that on your own. Why join Uber? Businesses start all day long and they're good at what they do. A lawn care company starts today, they can just go out and try to find customers, knock on doors, talk to friends, whatever. But why do they join Yelp? Why do they join Thumbtack? Why do they join? Apologize, guys. Why do they join all of these companies? That's one of my students. We got a meeting coming up, so I'll be getting off of here soon. But why do they join all these companies? For one reason and one reason only. You ready? Customers. They need customers. They need connections. With a middleman business model, we just connect the customer to the business, collect a deposit, and repeat. Connect, collect, repeat. When someone goes to my Book and Move website, they book the job, pay a deposit, and then the work gets automatically dispatched. I don't even know who's got it until I go on to the admin side of the website. Well, I do, because I get an email alert that tells me who picked up the job. So far, every job's been picked up. So, Kai, if you're a plumber or anything, it does not matter, because would you rather have one customer per day and keep all the money? Or would you rather have multiple customers, grow your business, and split the revenue? I'd rather split the revenue. So these companies, these skilled labor companies, guess what they're always going to need? Customers. And that's where you come in. That's where a middleman business model comes in. You go and get the customer. They're great at doing the work. You're great at getting the customer. You're going to find the customer, book the customer, take a deposit on your website, and then dispatch the work to them. They'll go out and do the work. As a matter of fact, I was just telling you a story about the garage repair guy that came. He is actually, because I asked him, I said, how do you get your jobs or whatnot? And he was like, this company sends me the work. So I don't know what company. It could be Yelp, it could be Thumbtack. These are all middleman companies, by the way. So, but this guy, he's not going to turn down the work. No one is. You wouldn't. I wouldn't. If someone sends you work and they want to take a commission from it, that's fine. That's how you grow. You could sit there and have no work, which they're not going to do. These companies want to grow. They have teams. They have to keep their guys working. So you're never going to have a problem with split revenue or, taking a commission. You're never going to have an issue with that. So if you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. All right, guys, I'll give you a couple minutes to drop the last comment or something or question you want to drop. Man, we have a lot of people on this video. Hit the thumbs up, guys. If you haven't already, I appreciate it. I thank you. If you smash the thumbs up, let me know in the comments. Let me know. Just put the thumbs up emoji, or put a 1. Let me know in the comments, because I'm about to get off here. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. Put a heart, put a fire emoji. Let me know. You guys communicate with me. Talk to me. Let me know. I'm taking time out of my day to spend time with you and try to let you know that, hey, some hard times are coming. For a lot of people, 90% of people, they're going to be left behind. Guess what? You don't have to be the 90%. Most people are going to sit back, do nothing, and get hit by this tsunami. But you don't have to. As soon as you see the water going out, like you're seeing now, you know a tsunami's coming. Get out of there. Get prepared. Don't have a backup plan. Have a plan. Something you can execute right now. Don't that's why I didn't like the word backup. I understand what you were saying, but don't call it a backup, because if you, whatever you name it, that's what it is. If you have a child, my son's name is Weston, that's his name. When I call Weston, I expect Weston to answer. When Weston hears his name called, he answers. That's why I grill you guys about naming your bank accounts, your savings account. your emergency account, your rainy day account. You know why? Because whatever you call it, that's its identity. So if you sit there and you name your bank account my emergency account, then that account is not successful until you have an emergency. That account is just going to sit there and wait on something bad to happen. That's why I encourage you to change the name. Name it an opportunity account. Now we're no longer looking for emergencies, but we're looking for what? Opportunities. That's why I give you guys these videos. That's why I give you this information. Hard times, they are a coming. In fact, they're here now, but it's going to get worse for 90%. Please don't be the 90%. And you don't have to. It's voluntary. It's voluntary. How do you volunteer to be in the 90%? Easy. Do nothing. Do nothing. Stay the course. Turn blind eye to what's happening around you. Close your ears. Shut your eyes. Watch more television. It's so easy to be in the 90%. That's why it's the 90%. It doesn't require anything. Now, it's not hard to be in the 10%. You just have to be willing to put in a little work. Willing to do something, some research, some homework. Willing to look at how do you bake cookies out of your kitchen? How do I do party events? How do I this? How do I that? I got a couple students. This is crazy. And I'm going to let you guys go. If I don't see any more comments, I'm going to get off here. Hit the thumbs up, by the way. I got a couple of students, they do something I never thought of. They do bounce houses. So, when kids have parties, they put these big spacewalks, bounce houses in the yards and whatnot. And I never thought about that as a middleman business. So I was talking to the student. They was like, yeah, I went through the class and I'm ready to get started. I was like, what are you going to do? It's like, because you don't have to know what you're going to do until you finish the online training, because I teach you how to choose. And that person said, yeah, I'm going to do a bounce house. I was like, a what? It's like, because I'm thinking about like skilled labor, plumbing, roofing, moving, home cleaning, a bounce house for kids' parties. He's like, yeah. And I was like, how did you get that idea? And I mentioned this to my wife. She was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. I was like, what? And he said, I got a friend who does it. I was like, all right, well, let's go through it. I said, how much does your friend charge? He said he charges $350 to bring out 2 for the day. I was like, okay. I was like, so let's do a little middleman math. So the customer is willing to pay $350 to get these things brought to the house. And I said, how much is your friend willing to do it for you? And he told me he'll do it for $275. I'm sorry, for $250. I think he said $250. $250 or $225, one of them. I think he said $250. All right, so $250 is what he's going to want when you bring him work. This is for you, Kai. Hope you get to rewatch this video, buddy. Let me know. And by the way, if you have any questions about the Middleman CEO Masterclass and getting in it before the price goes up, or you want to get on a simple payment plan, email me, middlemanceoinfo@gmail.com. You can go to the website, middlemanceo.com. There's 2 options. There's a do-it-yourself option where you do everything yourself. It's cheaper. There's also a work with me while I walk you through it and help you set everything up. 99% of the students choose that, but I am limited on time. That's why I limit how many people I let into the class each month. So you guys better move quickly. Middlemanceo.com. Get the VIP. That's the one that works with me. When you go to checkout, there's a bunch of I told you, my students are calling. It's time to get into some trainings. But there's a bunch of payment options that you guys could choose from. If you don't like any of that, just email me. So, all right, somebody just left a comment. What was I saying? You got to be prepared. You got to be ahead of this. Don't wait. Name your account, your opportunity account, so you can look for opportunity. And that's a part of being prepared. So let's see. So Kai said, how can the plumber afford to let you in on the profits? Because the work you're bringing them, in a nutshell, Kai, they don't have. So they spend money all the time chasing dead-end leads, right? So use, for example, movers. Movers spend thousands of dollars each month on Yelp, Thumbtack, Angie's, Craigslist, just trying to get a customer to call them. That's a lead. And then they have to chase the lead and try to close it. A lot of times they don't even get a call back, but it costs them a lot of money. When a mover partners with me, because they pay me $150 per month just to have access to my site and get their own login, and I have 25 of those, and we're about to spread into different cities, so this is going to grow. But and I'll teach you guys to do the same thing, but that's through the VIP. And so movers partner with me and pay me. Why? Why would they pay me 150? I'm going up to, by the way, I'm going up to 297 because I'm giving them so much work. They're not going to go anywhere. So, but why would a mover pay me, $150 per month to have access to my calendar? Because they're not leads. And if you had a middleman business, you're not selling leads. Everything that goes through your website is already booked. So they don't have to call, they don't have to chase, they don't have to bid. No, they just have to show up and get paid. That's the beauty of a middleman business. They're not leads. These are confirmed reservations. We already have the deposits. That's how we get paid. So when a customer go to my website or your website, book the job, you're paid. Customer's not going anywhere. They just paid a deposit. Then the work is dispatched to the mover who pays you monthly to have access to your board. Say, dang, I'll take that. Go out and do it. Happy. Everybody eats. So I hope I did a decent job of helping you understand. Hit thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if I did an all right job explaining that. But they'll be happy to share their revenue because they don't have any jobs. All right, Lil Rose, cool name. Oh, no, it's Lily Rose. I'm sorry, Lily. I apologize. I'll probably need some LASIK or something like that. All right, y'all got me way past my time. All right, these better be some good questions. Let's get into it. Lily Rose says, I don't think that Kai's talking about the middleman. I think he's saying people won't be working, so they would not have the buying power. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so maybe I misunderstood. So here's what I know about people. They buy what they need. If you have a plumbing issue at your house, it doesn't matter if you're not working or not. You're going to have to find a way to get some income, right? So they're going to be draining their savings. They're going to be swiping their credit card. If anybody's going to get hurt, it's going to be the credit card companies because people are going to be like, I got to swipe this. I cannot pay you back. It is what it is. Good luck to both you and me, right? All right. So, all right. If that's what he's talking about, Lily, that they won't have the buying power, understand this. When things happen, people figure out a way to get it done. So they could go, like I said, they could swipe their credit card. So let's say, for instance, it's a plumbing issue. They can swipe a credit card. They can, because money is available. Listen, a recession is coming via AI. It does not mean that there won't be any money. There is so much money in the economy today that we have this thing called inflation. Inflation, yes, it's the power of the dollar dying, but it's also because there's more dollars chasing the same goods. So there's no money shortage. There's no shortage of money. In fact, there's an abundance. There's an oversupply of money. That's why they raise interest rates to stop you from borrowing. When interest rates go down, they want you to borrow. But when they raise the interest rates the way they did for the last 2 or 3 years, this is to stop spending. Stop borrowing money. We're raising the price of money. Stop borrowing it. Stop buying it. So there's no shortage of money. There aren't stores just going out of business because nobody's shopping. People are shopping. They're just in debt. So if something happens and, there's a family that needs a certain thing done, they're going to get it done. They're going to get it done. Needs are not going to stop. Skilled labor is not going to go anywhere. You're sitting in a house in 100 degrees in Vegas and your AC goes out. What are you doing? You tell me, what are you doing? I know what you're going to do. You're going to find a way to get it fixed. Whether you have to borrow money, swipe a credit card, take a loan, write a check, it does not matter. Whether you have to pawn things, sell things out of your garage, whatever you got to do. That's why I hate that these gig jobs are disappearing. But you're going to find a way. And by the way, just because AI is coming, it doesn't mean that you can't find a job. Just a lot of the jobs are going to be eliminated. There'll be some that'll be created. You're going to have that skill. So if that's what you're saying, Kai, then I understand. And it doesn't matter. People are going to find a way to pay. And also, one of the beauties of having a middleman business, it doesn't have to cater to one particular industry. You could have a middleman business for 10 companies. It could be roofing, it could be home cleaning, it could be garage repair. You can middleman all of that. It's not hard, it's very simple. So, but I appreciate you, Lily Rose, for sharing that. So, somebody said, wait a minute, Jesus, it's probably Jesus. So, what do you mean AI powered recession? The recession is happening because they are cutting income, which makes it harder to meet monthly payments and spend. They need to print money for working people. All right, good point, man. And I hope I'm saying it right. I think it's probably Jesus, but either way. So let's break that down really quickly. So you say, what do you mean AI powered recession? What I mean by that really quickly, because I break this down as I go. What I mean by that is this recession is going to be driven by AI, by job loss. So AI is going to come in and replace a lot of people. In fact, it's going to replace more people. So there are going to be more people left without jobs. I think in the next 18 months, we're going to see the highest unemployment in our lifetimes. So that's what I mean by an AI powered recession. AI is going to replace jobs. Uber, Lyft, here. I got the news just yesterday that Waymo is coming to Dallas to test their automated driving cars. Well, what does that mean? That means if you drive a car on a gig job, they're about to try to replace you. When? I don't know. So you better hustle fast and hustle hard because you're not going to have that spot for long. So AI is going to create a recession by causing people to lose their jobs. It's going to create some jobs, but everybody's not going to be qualified for that. All right. So the recession happens because they are cutting income, which makes it harder to meet monthly payments and spend. If you're talking about the businesses cutting income, the businesses are cutting expenses. Businesses like income, they like revenue, they like profit. They don't like expenses. So they're going to be cutting expenses. So they'll be happy to replace you. And be honest, Jesus, if you owned a company that was doing sales, right? Nothing big, you had 5 salespeople. And these salespeople, they were doing a great job. And your company was making, let's keep it small, $50,000 a month. That's what your company was making. You get to take home, after you pay everyone, 10,000, right? 20% margin. Now, let's say I walk in one day and I introduce you, say, hey, so let's have a seat for lunch. If you got a couple minutes, I want to show you something. Here's some software, some AI-driven software. It does everything, answer every question. It's just like a human being. Sounds like you cannot tell the difference. Even has casual conversation about your pets and dogs. It can respond to everything. It's only $2.99 per month to rent this, and it can cover 50 calls at one time. Go through your sales script, improve your sales script, report back to you, do all of these things. Now, if you want this, it's $299 per month. That's it. And you can replace all of your employees and keep the entire $50,000. What would you do? Right? And don't get holier than thou and say, well, I love people. No. This is business. This ain't personal. You would do what anybody would do. You lay them off. Right? And that's how it's going to go. So expenses, no, they're just going to cut you. Right? So let me see, it's going kind of fast. So, which makes it harder to meet monthly payments and spend. For you, it is, but not for the business owners. That's why I was saying earlier, it's so important to be prepared, because if you cannot say definitively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that AI won't replace your job in the next 5 years, then you need to already be thinking about being unemployed and what to do next. Be ahead of it. Let's see. He said they need to print more money for working people. Again, this is going to be the problem, because I'll tell you that doesn't work, and I won't just tell you that. I'll prove to you it doesn't work. Remember in 2020, during the sickness, they pretty much shut down businesses, told everybody to go home. Millions of people around the country couldn't go to work, right? Businesses closed, people at home cannot work. So what did they do? You needed money. There was no production to create the money, no jobs. So what did they do, Jesus? They printed money. Let me ask you this. Was life more affordable in 2019, 2020 than it is today? Was rent less? Was housing prices less? Was grocery less? Was gas less? Everything was less, right? You agree? What happened? Nobody was working. Everything was cheaper. How did we get here? Oh, that's right. They printed money. In fact, they turned the printer on, just like you suggested, and they left it on overnight. And in the past 5 years, they printed about half of the entire money supply in the entire American economy. I want to say they printed maybe somewhere between $5 and $8 trillion over the past 3 or 5 years. You know what that caused? Inflation. So, to answer your question, printing money is not the answer. It's just going to cause a bigger problem. You'll be in hyperinflation, and a loaf of bread would be $100. Not because it's worth it, but because $100 is worth $1. So smash thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Let me see, if money is printed and people pay down debts or put it in savings, that equates to money printing followed by money deletion. I don't recommend you stack money in a savings account. I recommend you live off of cash flow. So saving money is probably one of the worst things you could do with money today. It wasn't always that way because banks paid interest, and it was a good idea to have a little money saved because you had these permanent and long-term jobs. You don't have that today. So instead of saving the money, I'm not telling you have zero in your bank account. I'm just telling you, instead of just piling it all there and leaving it, if you're going to save, have a use for the money. If saving was the way to financial freedom and protection, the banks would save money. But the banks don't save money. They invest to multiply money. My advice to you is to invest the money in a way that it multiplies. Figure it out. I can't tell you what it is, but figure out how to get this money to make more money. That's the question you should be asking. That's better than saving money, because if you save $1,000, an emergency comes, you spend $1,000. How much you got left? Zero. But if you use the $1,000 on an asset that creates cash flow, let's just say you do something small like a vending machine, and you spend $1,000, guess what's coming back? Another $1,000, because you still control the asset. And by the way, inflation is not bad for everybody. So when they tell you that they're trying to fix inflation, they're lying to you, right? Everybody doesn't want to fix inflation. You know why? Because if you own the asset, if you own the house where the rent went up, you own the apartment complex where the rent went up, you own the grocery store where the food price went up, you own the gas station where the gas prices went up. I'm just telling you, if you own the asset that went up in value, inflation is good for you. It's bad if you have to spend the money to get it. So pay down debts. Let's see, put it in savings. To me, that you're headed down disaster. But by cutting income, I was speaking about the federal government cutting spending. Okay, got you. The federal government is God of the economy. They have the power to print and destroy money. When you say federal government, you're probably thinking about the Fed, the Federal Reserve, which is not a bank, which is not federal, and we need to get rid of it. I don't see it happening. A lot of people going to die, probably going to have a revolutionary war, but we need to get rid of the Fed. We don't need one singular entity controlling the economy, and that's what we got. As far as government spending, I think right now they're $38 trillion in debt, just borrowed another $4. They have no idea how to fix this. That's what it's telling you. I'm already in big debt. Doesn't matter if I swipe this card again. Oh, well, that's how it is now. Can they pay back the debt? I don't know. I don't think they can, because the way the government makes money is through your paycheck. If you're not working, they're not making any money. So that's my thing. I don't think they can pay back this debt. I just think they're going to kick this can as long as they can until the whole system collapses. I personally think we need a reset because we're too far down the road. Bonds don't have value. The bonds are struggling. When countries start returning debt, because America makes money, the government makes money because the government doesn't have a job or a business. The government makes money by taxing you. And then the government makes money by selling coupons to other countries and to you called bonds. Well, when these other countries decide these bonds are worthless, because they are, even I know that, then we're going to really have a problem. So hopefully we never get to that. Do need to get rid of the Fed. All right. Somebody said, yes, in 2020, they printed money, but the inflation never happened because people pay down their debts, mainly credit card debt. They even tried to destroy the production lines with the shutdown, and they did. A lot of people get rich when, because you can come on television and say anything. You can come on television and say, hey, it's the supply chain, which is what you're referring to. It's come on, dude. These chickens are expensive. The food is expensive to feed them. It takes more work and workers to go out and pick the eggs. Now we got to go through that. Now we got to wash them. Now we got to get this stuff prepared. Now we got to ship it to you. The fuel costs more. And that's the supply chain. How do I get it from A to the store or to you? So that's the supply chain. So whenever people were sent home, of course, that shrinks the supply. Demand increases, no supply, drive the price up. Oversupply, drive the prices down. And so all of that was attributed to people not working. I'm telling you, it all began with people not working. Now, I believe I'm not saying it was intended to be a cover up to print money and make a lot of people rich, but they sure took advantage of it. Right. So I'm not going to lie and say, I know. I don't know. But I do know smart people move when the water's rough. Right. And so things were looking rough. People's attention were over here. I call it the magician and the pretty assistant. You ever see, you probably never see, you ever see just a very unattractive assistant? No, they're always gorgeous, right? Why? Because they're there to distract you. And so I'm not saying the sickness or any of that was meant to be that way. I don't know. But I know just as much as you know. I'm just speculating. But I am saying that there was probably some really smart people that saw the opportunity it presented and took advantage of it. Because here's what makes me believe that. They say inflation went back down to 2%. Well, if that's the case, how come the prices didn't follow? So we either have lies about inflation dropping or we have greed. I don't care if inflation dropped. I don't care if it's cheaper for me to get this stuff. I'm not charging less. My prices will stay the same. Is it inflation or is it greed? Or a little bit of both? I'll let you guys figure that out. So, all right, it says they printed money, but inflation never happened because people paid down their debts. No, when they printed that money, go do a little research, Jesus. People started shopping. They weren't saving money. They were shopping. So when you send people home, remember they were paying them salary plus unemployment. I have friends now in Dallas who say that was the best time of their lives. So people were shopping. They weren't just sitting on cash. They were shopping. They were trying to enjoy life. People were stressed out and burned out. I'm just telling you, they were trying to enjoy life. So they printed a ton of money, way too much money. And when you see creative or when you see terms like borrow, government borrow, that's same as printing money. When you see Fed balance sheet, same as printing money. When you see quantitative easing, same as printing money, all the same. So yeah, inflation was a result of printing that money. More money chasing the same goods. If you don't have the money, you can't have inflation because there will be no demand. There will be no money to demand, to demand anything. So Mr. Pushup said, once prices rise, they tend to hate to go back down. 1,000%. I just kind of hinted on that. 1,000%. They don't like to go back down. Think about it. And that's what I always tell you guys. Take yourself out of the employee side. I know it's hard to do if you've never owned a business, but just try to put yourself on the business side. You're going to see things differently. You're going to see, hey, as an employee, hey, man, this inflation needs to go down. There's no way this bread is $5. No way. But from the business side, the store owner side, they're still paying $5 for the bread. Okay, cool. Keep it at 5. You're going to love it because it depends on what side you're on. That's why I keep talking to you about positioning. You've got to be in the right position to win this. I don't know what the future's going to look like. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea. I'm just kind of looking at it now and saying, all right, I kind of see what's coming. I could be wrong about it. I could be somewhat right about it. I don't know. But here's what I do know 1,000%. You need to start looking at the signs and you need to get prepared. Smash thumbs up if this is making any sense to you and you want me to hang out an extra 5 minutes. Smash thumbs up. That's the only way I'll know. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Let's see. I'm trying to get through some of these comments. Great comments, by the way, and I appreciate you guys chatting it up. Once prices go up, boy, they don't like to go down. Hit thumbs up, guys. Help me out. UBI maybe. All right, so I'm assuming that's universal basic income. So universal basic income is an option. It's not something I'm a fan of because, man, listen, I've been poor. I'm talking about poor. We couldn't even afford the O and R. We were just poor. When you live in a neighborhood and everybody's poor, but they help you, you're the poorest there. And that's how we were. And so there was a time where I was for all these programs. Hey man, we need it. We need this welfare. We need this food stamps. I grew up on that. And I saw what it did to the people that relied on it. And it did not help them. Yes, it can help you feed your kids, stuff like that, of course. And you should always, if you're not working, you need food stamps to feed your kid. Of course, do that. Come on, don't be stupid. But don't make it a lifestyle. At some point, get yourself out of that. My mom never did. And when you start talking about UBI, it puts everybody on the same playing field. I can't outwork you. I can't outperform you. I can't increase my pay because that's what you're going to face. You don't want to, here, I'll sum it up this way, Mr. Push Up. You don't want the government telling you how much money you can make, how much money you can get. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be in a position where you can use skills, use intelligence, right? Use your own abilities to get as much as you can. I don't like government telling people what they can and can't do, how much they can and can't make. That's a scary thought for me. And I grew up relying on the government. But as I got older, I realized, whoa, what a mistake that was. You don't want the government in your bank account. I hope that's registering. You do not want that. You do not. The founders of this country didn't want that. How did we get here? I don't know. But they'll sell you on anything to get your vote. So be careful. I remember when Biden was that he was going to run for re-election and he started talking about student loan forgiveness and another stimulus. Never happened, did it? No. These are all lies. Nobody lies like politicians. It's so sad. Like they would just straight up lie in your face. They would straight up sacrifice things that they believe in just to get reelected. I don't have that in me. Like I'd be up there like, look, I know it's probably not going to get me reelected, but hey, we need to do something about this situation because this ain't right. So I guess that's why I'm not a politician. UBI, man, Mr. Push Up, you'd rather be in a position where you can do for yourself and your income's not controlled by the government. And I'll let you guys in on another thing. This probably shock you, but I'm not in favor of DEI. And again, perspective. I'm a business owner. I don't favor it. A lot of you, if you don't own a business, you're an employee. You do favor it. But if you get on the employee side, I've been there and I understand, hey, I want a shot. Give me a shot. Understand that. But from a business perspective, wait a second. Give you a shot. Why? Because of how you look? Because of how you were born? No, we're trying to make a company survive here. What skill are you bringing that's going to help us make it? So you guys know I don't fluff. I don't play like that. I wouldn't teach my kids that stuff. You want to get a position, go qualify for it. No company should have to hire you because of what you look like or what your gender is. Completely unfair. Company goes out of business, then what? To me, all that's stupid. So go out there and skill yourself up, and then you'll be able to get what you want, demand what you want. Next thing you know, the houses, people will just be living in dorms. It'd just be a dorm life. It look like college. Everybody's living in a dorm. So no, we don't want UBI. Jesus says the inflation happening now has to do with corporations being able to raise prices because they can. I agree with that. That's why I said it's a little bit of inflation, a little bit of greed. But what you cannot deny is the oversupply of money. That's what you can't deny. And they just borrowed another 4 trillion. Where do you think that's going? Into the economy. I don't care if it comes in the form of debt. I don't care because banks are one of the biggest. I don't know if you guys know, banks are one of the biggest contributors to inflation. Why? Because banks have a program, government authorized, called fractional banking. So what this does is, let's say the fractional reserve rate is 10. Banks are allowed, if you deposit $1,000, they're only required to hold on to 100. That's it. Just save the 100. Leave that there. Don't touch it. Well, what about the other 900? That's the game. So they'll sell that in the form of a loan. Interest rate is the price that they sell the money for. They'll sell the money to you. You go buy a car. You give it to a new bank. That bank is going to take that $900, put 100 in, take the other 800 or so, and sell that. And this $1,000 you deposited is going to bounce around this whole entire economy and just multiply and multiply. You only put 1,000 in, all of a sudden you look up and it's 10,000 because this is a credit society. This is a debt society. When was it Nixon 1971 removed money, the dollar from the gold standard? The doors blew open. Print as much as you want. Everybody's about to get rich. We don't need the gold to prove we got the money. Then the money became the oil standard. Fractional reserve. I'm sorry. Oil is the new standard. Did you know? As far as I know, in pretty much all places in the world, oil has to be exchanged, purchased, acquired in dollars. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about every place, but for the majority of the world, you can only do all transactions in dollar. Well, now the dollar is no longer tied to gold; it's tied to black gold or petro. It's the petrodollar. When now you're starting to see BRICS countries, I'm not going to go through what that acronym means, but Britain and all those other countries getting together, they're sick of America. They're sick of the dollar. They're sick of America's stronghold. What's going to happen next? I don't know. Scary times are coming. You need to be prepared. All right, I go through these comments really quickly because I got some things I got to do, guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the thumbs up. Smash it, smash it. Let me know. Inflation happened now has to do with corporations being able to raise prices because they can. Absolutely. Nobody's going to regulate that. There's nothing you can do to regulate it. The only thing that can help us right now, Jesus, is a crash. So as bad as it seems to ask for a crash, we need it because the economy needs to reset. The average person can't even buy a house right now. Don't even think about it. Impossible. So, by the way, I wouldn't encourage you to buy a house if your paycheck is the way you're going to pay for it anyway, because the mortgage is 30 years. Your job ain't going to last 30 years. Acquire an asset first, let it make enough money, then use the asset to buy the house. Hope that makes sense. Wish they teach people that. But how did I learn that? Not through a book, not through anybody else telling me. I learned the hard way. I bought a house with a paycheck. Terrible idea. Never do that again. Let's see. Paul said, "What do I do with my 401k after I quit my job?" Paul, I don't want to like tell you what to do because I don't know your situation in and out. I don't know your personality. I don't know how you like to move. I don't know how you like to execute. You could be a guy who executes. You could be a guy who makes excuses. I don't know. This is not a shot at you. It's just I'm just generalizing. I have no idea what you're looking for, uh, your methods. I don't know. So what do I do with my 401k? I'll just say if it was me, if I had a 401k today after I quit my job, if I had a 401k today, I would try to leverage some of the money out of the 401k, because I'm not thinking 20, 30 years from now. I don't know what the world's going to look like. It blows my mind when people are like, hey, if you invest for the next 40 years, you'll be a millionaire. Okay, let's see, you'll be 65, 70, 75, 80. What am I going to do with $1 million when I'm 80? I just hope to be able to walk around my living room. So it's nothing wrong with having it, but I want to enjoy it now. Can I enjoy it now? Oh, give it to you for 40 years? Who told you that? Oh, the bankers. Oh, the financial advisors. Oh, let me ask you this. How are they living right now? Oh, they're living good. Exactly. Are they waiting 40 years to enjoy life? Come on. One of the biggest scams ever. All right, I'll leave it at that. So if I'm you, Paul, and I got access to some of the money, I would use some of the money now to try to acquire some type of asset, whether it's start a business, invest in an asset, uh, start, I don't know, start hustling, a side hustle, stock market, Bitcoin, anything. The only question I would be asking is, hey, let's say, for instance, I'm you, Paul, and I have 10,000. I'd be looking at, how do I take 2,500, just 25% of it? How do I take 25% of this, just 2,500 out? And what can I do with it to multiply it? What can I do with it? Where can I put this 2,500 that'll bring me a return in the next year? Because the thing with that is, if the market crashes, your 401k crashes. You don't control it. I hate not having control of my money. So if the market crashes, you look up, now you only have 5,000. The market's going to crash, by the way. It has to. But if you look up, all of a sudden you have 5,000. Well, dang, I just lost 5,000. Right, because you left it in there and you let the market determine what it was worth. When you could have taken that 5,000 out earlier and tried something, and maybe something would have worked. So again, guys, I don't like sitting on money unless it's cash flow. But if I'm just saving money to save money, terrible idea. Inflation's killing your money. It's just dying there. It's just a funeral and you don't even realize it. Money sitting in a bank account does nothing for you at all. The banks don't even save it. They try to get rid of it. Do what they do. All right, so the government, Jesus said, the government doesn't need money because it prints it. You've been bamboozled with taxpayer money. The government doesn't tax to spend, it spends to tax. Huh? I don't know. I'm having trouble understanding that. Yeah, the government needs money. That's why they tax you. Otherwise, there'd be no budget. Because when they borrow money, that's a loan. They have to pay that back. So they need to have some type of revenue. Spending comes first, not taxation. You ever saw your paycheck? When you get your paycheck, did you spend anything or was it taxed up front? People spent online. If you go back, you'll see the credit card debt at the time was at an all-time low. That could be true. I don't know for sure. But people did. I do know that a lot of people spent money because I want to say Gucci or Louis Vuitton, one of them, like had a record year during that year. So go back and look that up. I don't doubt that some paid off their debt. Some people are responsible, most are not. If most were, then you wouldn't have the issues you have today. All right, Antonio said, we in trouble, y'all, 1,000%, man. But you don't have to be, Antonio. You could actually get in front of this and get prepared. So I talk about a lot of options, and I talk about the middleman option. And the reason I do, not only because I do it, I think it's a really good, viable option for anybody going forward. And the reason I do is because AI is going to replace a ton of jobs that can be automated, but the ones that are the safest is going to be the skilled labor. Well, I don't want to go out and learn how to be a roofer. I don't want to move anybody's furniture. I don't want to clean your toilet. I'm sorry, I don't want to. But there are people who already do it. They're already trained. They're already good. They already have the equipment, the supplies, the knowledge, the ethic, everything. Well, why would I go and become a plumber just to compete with the other 1,000 plumbers here? They're already good. They're already ahead of me. Now we're all fighting for the same customer. No, I'll partner with you. How about I partner with you? You do what you're good at. I'll bring you customers. Deal? Deal. See, that's how the middleman works. Somebody said time to learn Chinese. All right, all right. So if you guys have another question, now's the time to drop it. I like that. Time to learn Chinese. You better figure out something. So AI for sure. It's coming after a lot of jobs. Jobs are not safe, they're not secure, and a lot of people are going to be left out in the cold. If you are prepared, you can be ahead of this thing. Don't sit around and wait for bad things to happen. Plan for them. Hey, AI is coming. I got a job that can be replaced by AI. I need to be working on what's next. I'm going to keep my job. I appreciate it, but I do understand I'm not going to have this job for long. So, what's my next move? Just like chess, what's my next move? Because what I don't want to happen to me is I don't want checkmate. And for a lot of you, because you're not prepared, because you don't have another source of income, for you, it's going to be checkmate. For you, it's going to be checkmate. You're not prepared. You're not intentional. You're not motivated. You're just sitting there, lollygagging, waiting on the storm to hit you, and then you take off and run and try to get away. It's too late. You're going to get caught in the tsunami. It's too late. You're still sitting at the beach. The water has already receded. The smart people, the intelligent people, the progressives, they're already on the rooftops. I can already see this storm coming. And that's me. I'm on the rooftop. But you know what I'm doing on the rooftop? I'm yelling, hey, down there. Hey. With everything I got, I'm screaming, hey, hey, guys down there. There's a tsunami coming. And I'm pointing at them, there's a tsunami coming. And I'm hoarse, I'm screaming with everything I got. And it's not just me, it's even some of you on here. And we're screaming and we're yelling at the top of our lungs and we're saying, hey, there's a tsunami coming. There's a tsunami coming. Please, just look up. You got a family, you got your wife, you got your kids. Your children's down on that beach. Your dogs are down on that beach. And I can see this wave coming. And if you don't move now, you're running out of time. You're not going to make it. These kids are not going to make it. Your dog's not going to make it. And I'm yelling to get you out of there. And you know what you do? You turn around, you look at me, and you say, oh, there's a guy up there waving at us. That's most people. There's a guy just waving. No. There's a tsunami coming. I see the wave coming. It's going to wipe you out. It's going to wipe you out. And I'm doing everything I can to get your attention. And I'm waving you out of there. And I'm saying, go, go, go. And you turn around, look at me, and you say, there's a guy who's waving. You're going to get left behind. You're going to get wiped away by the tsunami. Whether you like it or not, it's here. The wave's just going to get bigger and bigger. I've heard people online say 99% of people are going to lose their jobs. I don't think so, but I do think it's going to be high, too high. Automation is here. The AI takeover has begun. Skynet is upon you. We are in the last days, both spiritually, of course, and of the economy you once knew. Every 50 or so years, there's a new revolution. AI is a new revolution. But again, if you want to be safe, do something that either partners you with AI or get something, a skill or a job or a business that AI cannot replace. Again, plumbers, skilled laborers, AI can't do that. Home cleaners, moving, AI can't do it, at least not yet. I am not afraid of AI. I welcome AI. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I hate that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs and not be prepared. It'd be one thing if I sat back and just said, I hate that. I feel for those people. I sympathize with them. And I didn't do anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying, I hate that they're going to lose their jobs. I sympathize with them. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on that rooftop and I'm going to yell through my YouTube channel and my social media. Follow me on social media, same handle. And I'm going to say, hey, a tsunami is coming. You need to get prepared. Please don't wait. Time's almost up. Find a way to make money that AI cannot disrupt. If you have money sitting around and it's doing nothing for you, use it. Please use it. Or what if I lose it? It's lost anyway. Well, I have 10,000 in the bank. You're telling me to take some of it out? I'm saving this for emergencies and hard times. Number one, don't manifest that. Number two, use it before those hard times come. Use it. Because maybe by the time those hard times come, you'll have cash flow coming in. Hey, I don't need to stack money in the bank account. Why not? My asset makes money for me every month. I have cash flow. My vending machine pays me every month. I don't need to just sit on cash. My middleman business pays me every month. I don't need to just sit on cash. I'm just saying. All right, guys, I have to go. Hope you have a great day, great weekend. Power through the weekend, power through the week. This video, please share it on your social media. Let them know, hey, there's this crazy guy online keeping it real, talking about what's next, what he believes is next. I can't promise you that it's coming. I do know a tsunami is coming. I can see that. I do know if you're prepared, you're gonna be okay. I do know most people are not prepared and won't be okay. Share it on social media, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, hit the notification bell. Tell people about the channel, help me grow it, smash thumbs up. I appreciate everybody. And if you guys want to learn what I teach about the middleman business, put middleman in the comments below. Click the link in the video description. Go to middlemanceo.com, get into class quick. Whatever you got to do. If you're sitting on money, the best advice I can give you is to use the money. Sitting on money is not going to save you. Relying on one source of income from your job, not going to save you. That's why I always preach the same things. Don't stack money in the bank just to stack it in the bank. Your job is not safe or secure. Don't ever sit there and get desensitized. And number three, if your paycheck's your only source of income, you got a problem. All right, I've said enough. I got to go. I'll see you guys on the next video. Share this video if you don't mind. Have a blessed day, guys. And please, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until checkmate.